Hey there, this is Bailey at The Pour Over. Today we're talking about the Trump admin's updates following recent ICE shootings in Minneapolis, a landmark trial on the alleged addictiveness of social media, President Trump increasing tariffs on top importer South Korea, and other top news for Wednesday, January 28th. Stay informed while remaining focused on Christ with The Pour Over. Here's your quote of the day. You are a steward of every moment, of every talent, of every gift, of every resource that God has given you. Choose wisely what you do today. Paul Washer. Let's get started with some espresso shots. The Trump administration is making some changes after backlash to Minneapolis's second deadly ICE shooting. President Trump announced Monday that he's sending border czar Tom Homan to Minnesota to manage on-the-ground ICE ops, overseeing the roughly 3,000 federal agents there. Homan, a veteran ICE official who's historically more focused on deporting violent criminals than hitting deportation quotas, will take over for controversial Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino. Meanwhile, Trump and Democratic Minnesota leadership are striking a more cooperative tone. Monday, number 47 had, quote, very good calls with Governor Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. Walz and Trump reportedly agreed that Minnesota officials will cooperate with feds on immigration enforcement. The number of federal agents in the state will be reduced, and Minnesota will, quote, conduct independent investigations into the shootings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Believers can be at the forefront of de-escalating tensions in our communities, meeting anger with compassion and humility. Whether you're out demonstrating, chatting with a frustrated friend in your living room, or watching from the sidelines, you are positioned to radiate hope. 1 John 2:8-10 says, the darkness is passing away and the true light is already shining. The one who says he is in the light but hates his brother or sister is in the darkness until now. The one who loves his brother and sister remains in the light, and there is no cause for stumbling in him. A landmark case on social media's harm to teens hit the stands yesterday. The plaintiff, a 19-year-old woman identified as KGM, alleges that the companies behind Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat built addictive algorithms that caused her serious mental health struggles. While big tech has long been shielded from liability for user-generated content under the 1996 Communications Decency Act, this is the first of roughly 22 similar cases, representing about 1,600 plaintiffs, targeting platform designs, features like infinite scroll, autoplay, and algorithmic recommendations. Plaintiff lawyers are borrowing from a big tobacco-era playbook, introducing internal documents to show companies understood their products' harm while publicly denying them. Tech firms claim the case cherry-picks evidence and ignores safety tools already in place. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is expected to testify. Snap and TikTok have already settled. As courts discuss the effects of social media, it's a good moment for personal reflection on social media's effect on our own lives, relationships, and heart habits. Whatever tools or technology we adopt, our aim should be to use them wisely and in ways that increase the fruit of the Spirit in us. Galatians 5 says, walk by the Spirit, and you will certainly not carry out the desire of the flesh. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Uncle Sam's tightening tariffs on South Korea. On Monday, President Trump announced that the U.S. would raise tariffs on South Korea, last year's second-largest exporter, from 15% to 25% for, quote, not living up to a $350 billion Washington-Seoul trade deal made last July. Trump said South Korean lawmakers had been slow to approve the agreement. It's still awaiting Seoul's sign-off, while Washington, quote, swiftly acted to reduce tariffs. South Korean officials say they were surprised and scrambled to respond yesterday, though no official trade talks are scheduled. As trade tensions simmer, gold's a hot commodity. The safety net asset topped a record $5,000 an ounce amid growing trade instability fears and a looming partial government shutdown. Meanwhile, India and the EU announced, quote, the mother of all trade deals yesterday, slashing tariffs and opening free trade between India and the 27-country bloc. Here's a verse to consider when the international math and your own economic outlook keep changing. Instruct those who are rich in the present age not to be arrogant or to set their hope on the uncertainty of wealth, but on God, who richly provides us with all things to enjoy. 1 Timothy 6:17.
Hey, it's Zan from The Pour Over. I've been making a purposeful effort to eat more seafood because I know it's packed with nutrients and I feel better when I do. But finding quality seafood where I live is a feat. That's why I started ordering from Wild Alaskan. They deliver 100% wild-caught, never-farmed seafood like coho salmon and Pacific halibut straight to my door. It comes perfectly portioned and frozen right off the boat, locking in taste, texture, and nutrients like omega-3s. So it's both delicious and super easy to prep a quick, nutritious dinner for my family. My first box from Wild Alaskan Company definitely made me realize not all fish is the same. Get seafood you can trust. Go to wildalaskan.com/TPO for $35 off your first box of premium, wild-caught seafood. That's wildalaskan.com/TPO for $35 off your first order.
In other brews, here's a rapid round of updates. China's President Xi Jinping pushed out his military's most senior general this weekend, reportedly accusing General Zhang Yuxia of accepting bribes and leaking information about China's nuclear weapons to the U.S. The investigation into Zhang and another top leader is the most dramatic in a series of corruption-related military purges since 2023, raising questions about China's military readiness. Winter storm Fern has claimed at least 30 lives. The historic storm has canceled roughly 12,000 flights, left another 600,000 people still powerless, and blanketed much of the country with record snowfall, ice, and extreme cold. Reported causes of death include hypothermia, sledding accidents, and snowplow strikes. Expect utilities and travel to remain impacted as Fern's frigidity lingers. The American Academy of Pediatrics is breaking with the CDC on childhood vaccines. Monday, the AAP published its 2026 vaccine schedule, continuing to recommend doses the CDC now advises only in high-risk cases. Think rotavirus, RSV. The CDC says its recent vaccine overhaul aligns with, quote, international consensus. But the AAP warns, quote, nothing has changed in childhood illness prevention. The USS Abraham Lincoln Aircraft Carrier Strike Group is headed toward Iran. The warship's Middle East move to, quote, promote regional security and stability comes after the Islamic Republic warned the U.S. it had, quote, its finger on the trigger. President Trump said the massive fleet moved, quote, just in case the U.S. takes action against Iran for killing peaceful protesters. On Monday, Israel's military recovered the remains of the last remaining hostage held in Gaza. Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu called the recovery of police officer Ron Gavili, killed while fighting attackers on October 7th, a, quote, unbelievable achievement for Israel. Hamas said their cooperation confirms their commitment to the peace plan. Israel's hostage advocacy group honored Gavili as, quote, first to go in, last to return. That's all we have for today. Thanks so much for listening, TPO fam. If you're listening on the Apple Podcasts app, give us a 5-star rating and drop a review. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a follow and hit the notification bell to never miss a new episode. We're grateful for your support and hope you have a great Wednesday. Catch you on Friday.
The other day in the kitchen, I poured citrus element powder in my water bottle. My wife looked at me and asked when the last time was that I drank water without element. I looked at her and couldn't even remember. No sugar, no crashes, just the science-backed ratio of electrolytes we need to stay sharp. Honestly, it's the real MVP of the pour-over. Stay fresh and hydrated with us. The pour-over listeners get a free 8-pack of Element's most popular drink flavors with any drink mix purchase. Just use the Element link in the show notes.